Okay, last video for Module 7, we're going to be working with some absolute values. So solving an absolute value inequality. And we've got problem type 1. Okay, so this is just your real straightforward absolute value. Okay. So, for example, if we have, and I think they have you graph the solution on the number line. So if the absolute value of x is less than 3, okay, then what you do is x is less than 3, okay, and x could also be greater than negative 3. Okay, so we flip the sign. 2 steps here. We flipped the sign and we made the number negative. Okay, so you think about it, if we had the absolute value of x equals 3, then x could equal 3 or x could equal negative 3. Okay, if the absolute value is less than 3, then we have to be between those two numbers. Okay, so like a number like 0 would work, a number like 1 would work, a number like negative 2 would work. If you're not sure, you can always just kind of test some points, okay? Because you'll know on your number line that we need open circles because it's just less than or just greater than. Oh, I just made a mistake there. I circled the 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then if you're unsure, just think, would 0 make this true? Is the absolute value 0 less than 3? It is. Okay, so I know that I should be shading that region between there. Okay. So you can think about it this way. X is less than 3 and x is greater than negative 3. Flip the sign. Okay, or you can just kind of think about, well, I've got the boundaries. I know it's 3 and negative 3, and then you can just kind of like test points in the boundary. You could say like, well, should I be shading over here? Does 4 work? No, the absolute value of 4 is not less than 3. Okay, and that's how we taught it in Algebra 2. If you guys remember, you tested some points. Let's do another one here. Just a second. Okay, so if we have another one where it's the absolute value of x is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so now this will mean that x can be greater than or equal to 6 or less than or equal to negative 6. Okay, again, we just flipped the sign and made the value negative. So now greater than or equal to 6, so I'm going to solid circle on 6 and shade greater than. Less than or equal to negative 6, so solid circle negative 6 and shade to the left. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so just kind of think about if your answer makes sense, plug in some values and make sure that they work. Let's do another one. It's, again, solving an absolute value inequality. And this one is going to be called problem type 2. Okay. And in this one, we'll have just an extra step to it. Okay, the absolute value of w minus 21 is greater than or equal to negative 12. So all we need to do is add that 21 to both sides first. So if I add 21 to 12, I get 9. Okay, so we want the absolute value of, and it says, if all real numbers are solutions, click on all reals. If there is no solution, click on no solution. Otherwise, just solve it. Okay, so here again, we would want, I'm just looking on Alex, they're writing the answer a little bit weird. Okay, so either W is greater than or equal to 9, and then W is less than or equal to -9. And sometimes you have a question, is it and or is it or? Well, there's no possible way for it to be greater than 9 and less than -9, so it's got to be or. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and again, you can plug in some numbers there and see if it works. Like if W is greater than or equal to 9, try plugging in 100. So the absolute value of 100 minus 21 greater than or equal to -12? Yes, it is. Okay, or try if W is less than or equal to -9, try a really like -100. Also works. Plug in a number that we didn't say was a solution, make sure it doesn't work. 0. Right? So 0 minus 21 greater than or equal to -12? No. So you can always check some points to kind of make sure if your solution makes sense. Okay, let's get another one here. This next one we have, I'm going to try to find one that's a little trickier. Let me see. And they might just not have any tricky ones in this problem type 2. Let me try one more. Now my computer's freezing up. Give me 1 second. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to have any real tricky ones in here. So the next one is the absolute value of W plus 8 is greater than 21. So W absolute value is greater than 13. So either W is greater than 13 or W is less than -13. Okay, remember you just flip the sign and change it. And I don't think there's anything, I'm kind of scrolling through some of the problems on Alex, I don't think there's anything trickier than those in this topic. Oh, here's one. Let's do this one. Okay. We have the absolute value of V plus 6 is less than 11. So the absolute value of V is less than 5. Okay, so V is less than 5. V is greater than -5. That's going to be an and because they overlap. Okay, so you can kind of look at the signs here too to tell if it's going to be or and. If it's greater than the positive number and less than the negative number, we're going to have or. Right? Greater than the positive, less than the negative, it's going to be or. If it's less than the positive and greater than the negative, that means we're between those two numbers and it's going to be and. Okay. All right. Next we have problem type 3. I am not going to write that whole title out again. I'm just going to write problem type 3. It's another solving inequalities. Okay. So now in this one, and they're asking you to do this on a number line again. We have the absolute value of W plus 3 is less than or equal to 3. Okay, so W plus 3 is less than or equal to 3. And again, flip the sign and make that negative. Okay, so W is less than or equal to 0. W is greater than or equal to -6. Okay, we're less than the bigger number, greater than the smaller number, so that means we're going to be in between. Okay, so on our number line, -6 and 0, filled in circles. Okay, and again, we're less than 0, but greater than -6. So that's going to be, again, an and if you were to write that out. Okay, let me get another one here. Okay, so now this one, we have the absolute value of V plus 5 is greater than or equal to 3. So V plus 5 is greater than or equal to 3, or V plus 5, flip the sign, make it negative. So V is greater than or equal to -2, v is less than or equal to -8. Okay, so now again, if we were to sketch these, -8, -2, solid circles. We are less than -8, greater than -2, so that's going to be an or between them. Okay, one more topic. We have problem type 5. For solving absolute value inequalities. Okay, and they just add another couple steps for you here. So this one, they have 8 times the absolute value of x plus 5 minus 6 is greater than 42. So just, you want to isolate the absolute value. Okay, so they just add those steps for us. So we're going to add 6. And we're going to divide by 8. And then it becomes a problem like we just did. So x plus 5 is greater than 6. X plus 5 is less than -6. Draw a number line. Oops, I skipped a step. Greater than 1 if I subtract 5 from both sides. Less than -11. Okay, so we are going to have -11 and 1. We want open circles. Greater than 1, less than -11, so it would be an or. Okay, let's get another one here. We're almost done. Okay, so this one, we have 9, absolute value w minus 1, minus 4, less than or equal to 23. Okay, so isolate your absolute value. We're going to add 5 to both sides. I'm sorry, 4 to both sides. A lot of kids want to distribute that 9 just like you would if it was parentheses, but it's not going to work, okay? Rather than distributing it, you want to divide it out. So divide both sides by 9. And now we have w minus 1 is less than or equal to 3, and w minus 1 is greater than or equal to -3. So w is less than or equal to 4, w is greater than or equal to -2. Get your number line. -2, +4. Filled in circles. We are less than -4 and greater than -2, so we're in between there. Okay, so that is going to be an and for your final answer. All right, that is it for Module 7. We are done then.